Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar. Today we are picking up with the Tiboktsamo campaign. Between episodes, I did not very much. I think I just picked expansion ideas up. Um, but now we are going to continue. Alright. Yeah, let's go with Catarata. Right now, we just need to wait a bit. Um, yeah, we'll do this. And we'll go ahead and pop our golden arrow. We've basically now have enough to reform the mainland. We just need to pick up the last Amoma province. Alright. Um... Trauma... It's dilapidated. And I'll do that one. Doing a Noma construction there. Alright, we're all out of professionalism, that's fine. It's worth it to get my, my manpower under control. That will also help a whole lot. Alright. And we can do this. Seek ghost halflings. Alright, there's no description. The excitement at meeting our long-lost kin had long since vanished by the time weapons were drawn. I wish I knew where it had gone so wrong. We'd been greeted warmly at first, honored guests bringing news from the outside world. But the news we brought these so-called ghosts did not please them like it should have. Later records penned by my own hand would state that the violence began due to mistranslation. This is a lie. It was understanding one another that brought us to blows. We have seen empires rise and fall and wish to take no part in it. You would act as Brawny, Bonnie before you, thinking yourself a hero while replacing one tyranny with another. If you truly wish to do right by our people, go back to your empire and burn every mention of us from your records. Never seek us again. It was these words that made us realize the ghost halflings were not our kin. They had hidden, as the Amazani of the Summer Isles had fled. It was merely another form of cowardice. The man who had spoken this word, their chieftain, lay dead now, his body heaped into a pile of others, around half of the village's warriors and satellite. Despite that flame, I felt cold. Liberation had come to the ghost halflings as it has come to those of Kolanama. They should have been grateful. I should have felt like a hero. They were supposed to be our long-lost kin, and yet it felt as if we were more alone than ever. I felt a sharp pain in my side. It took me a moment to realize the pain was originating from something tangible as I heard a young voice cry out in anger. In a flash, I had grabbed the wrist of my assailant and turned his momentum against him. Flipping him over my own body and slamming him down into the soil, I only refrained from killing the blow upon seeing his face. It was a child, the spitting image of the village's chieftain, 12 years of age at the oldest. He had attempted to tackle me, but his stance was poor and his body was small. My own soldiers rushed to my aid, readying spears and pointing them to my struggling assailant. They readied themselves for the killing blow I had hesitated on. At ease, I commanded, holding up one free hand to stop my warriors, while pinning the boys with another. Though the boy continued to struggle, it was little effort for me to hold him down. He's just a child, he knows not what he does, but he has a warrior spirit like I did when I was his age. Andronary Longwatch once took me and sheltered me and raised me to be who I am. The gratitude I craved would not come easy. Maybe if we showed these people what we were truly building, they would finally see. Maybe then they'd see me as a hero. Maybe then I'd feel like it. I'll take this boy as my ward. Take the rest back to camp. We'll begin training them to be something. Alright. we can rebuild another Nova. Alright. So truce with Kuika. I'll take them. Finally making money, which is nice. Yep. Human majority expelled. Good. Yeah, like I said, we're not good people. If you want to play a nice halfling, then you gotta be Bibiobi. They're a little bit nicer than us. Okay. I don't want him to die yet. I think he's already dead at this point. Yep. Alright. I have one claim over there. Got a little bit unfortunate with the spawns. Yeah, shit. Alright. The last human over there. Excellent. Alright, so I need a total of 3 provinces from this war. Alright. Theoretically, could I hire shrine guards? 22,000. That's more doable. I want that. Alright. It's gonna be 5,000 over, which is doable. Okay. I will take out one loan, because I do want to get a few cannons. Alright. we got the spy network right there. Right. Vicious humans. Alright. We want to head this way, and we will bring some guys to follow them. Fortunately, we're just gonna have to let our rebels siege some stuff. Right. So we want to send a guy there. And with this, we want those 3 provinces. Yeah, pick nobility, loyalty. We want to bombard this as well. Alright, so for Benwarji, yeah, go ahead and get that too. Sure, we'll take that. Human minority. And then we want these guys. Okay. Okay, so for Benwarji, want that. Er, Alright. So they can head that way. Okay. And we will take this one. Alright, take that. And alright. So with that, we have the natives exterminated. Redoing, we don't need that. And then do this. We want that province, obviously. Alright, so we want this, this, and that. Okay. Transmutation, plant growth, transmute to gold. That we can pay off a loan. Alright. I will literally come attack this nation purely for core reasons. And we have truce with them, so never mind. Alright, these guys need to come this way. That done. Alright, we can do Seek the Ghost Halflings. It's one. I'll take the tax. And then we want Riddance. Keep the Ghost Halflings. Okay, I'll go ahead and take Tech 8. And then our last thing will be to seek those Ghost Halflings. The boys whose name I'd since learned as Solo has taken some time to warm up to me, but it has taken me substantially less time to warm up to him. Anbennar had not lived more than a month past his retirement, old age claiming him in a peaceful sleep. The void he'd left in my life was something I'd hoped to fill with the guidance of another senior commander within the tower. But they were all either subordinates, awestruck by my chosenhood, or power-hungry schemers looking to manipulate me. I would never again have a father, but to be one filled a hole I wasn't aware of. Under my tutelage, Solo had become a fierce and disciplined warrior. There were many things I'd done wrong, things I wish I could change. Perhaps I could fill the void I created in the boy's life and set something right. I felt a sharp pain in my side. The dagger just barely halted by my ribs, missing any vital organs, granting me time to counterstrike. My elbow slammed into my assailant's stomach as my other hand grabbed the dagger and flung it away. It clattered across the floor, leaving a trail of blood with each bounce. I spun around just in time to see Solo preparing a kick to the chest that sent me tumbling backwards. His form was excellent. I felt proud a moment before I felt betrayed. Rushing past me, he ran for the dagger he'd attempted to drive into my bowels. I reached out and grabbed his ankle, tripping him and bringing him to the floor with me, while simultaneously using him to pull myself back onto my feet. With a leap, I drove my knee into the ground where his back had been just a moment before. He rolled out of the way and now attempted to retaliate with another kick, but this time I was ready. Catching his foot by the ankle, I rotated myself over on top of him and pinned his back to the ground under my weight, while pulling his leg until I heard a sickening snap. My heart ached as I heard him scream, but I did not relent, instead grabbed his other leg and aimed a precise kick to the femur. Standing up, I left him with two disabled legs and walked towards the dagger he had driven into me. Behind him, I could hear him desperately crawling towards it, even as I kicked it over to the side. I made my way to my weapon rack and grabbed my spear before turning on the boy. My face was red as I yelled, "Why, Solo? Why did you make me do this? I don't want to hurt you. I never wanted to hurt you." The look of hatred that met my eyes will forever haunt me as long as I lived. It was as if I were staring not at another living being, but an angry ghost. You killed my father, you destroyed my home, you trained me to destroy the homes of others, and you want me to be grateful? I am but the first person. You will not survive this night. In a single fluid motion, I slashed the tip of the spear over his neck and silenced him. A moment of horrible quiet passed before a frantic lieutenant burst into the room. "Commander, we're under attack. Commander, you're wounded, and the boy." "I'm fine. Help me get my armor on. It's going to be a long night." Alright, so... Alright, and we'll have to do that now. A sense of unease and dread hung over the battalion as they walked through yet another empty village. The fighting had stopped weeks ago. Yet still we found village after village completely devoid of life. The campaign had been bloody, and there had been more than a few villages burned to the ground. But these were not emptied by any soldier of the tower. "Still no sign of what caused this, Tower Commander," one of my scouts reported before a sudden creaking broke the silence. Instantly, spears were pointed in the direction of the noise. From one of the seemingly emptied house, a small figure emerged. I held up a hand to signal my men to hold as I took a few tentative steps forward. Then, in a sudden rush, the figure bolted towards me and braced me even as I drew the dagger, prepared to strike. Moments before my knife would have found their neck, I realized they were hugging me. "Please, please, please don't let it take me," the girl sobbed. Dropping my dagger with a limp thud, I began to gently pat the girl's back. "I won't. Whatever took them will not take you, I promise." "It was a loco. A loco ate them," the girl said, looking up at me. It was only then that I realized she was a human, her features far too young for a halfling of her size. For a moment I tensed. The only times I'd ever been this close to a human were when I'd been fighting them. "Thank you for saving me," the child said between sobs, burying her head back into my chest. I stood there, stiff and awkward, before turning to one of my bewildered soldiers. "Have a warm meal prepared, and tell the scouts to broaden their searches to seek more survivors." "And what is to be done with the survivors we found?" the soldier asked. "Bring them to the coast and have them aid Latrinama reconstruction project." Latrinama is real. This sentence may seem trivial, but now that Visenby once again walks the far citadel's ancient halls and architects repair its dilapidated walls. But for years, the existence of the city has been questioned. Hidden deep in the jungle, far from any other Anoma, it has always been a place of mystery. Messages from this place to other Anoma were rare, even when the Five stood strong. Some theorized it may never have fallen at all, while others called it a myth. Now we know the answer to both. Latrinoma is real and it did fall, but we know very little else. There are no signs of battle, no damages beyond those caused by time in the uncaring jungle. We know not why the Vizimbi of Watronoma left or where they went. Even now, this place is a mystery. But perhaps time shall lift this veil for us. Alright. Send one there. And then we want to come right this way. You know what? We will stop. Alright. We do need to still purge these guys, though. It's a lot. Alright. Ignite the colony. Right. I'm going to fabricate a claim right there. Now we'll withdraw from public life. Alright, just go ahead and provoke them so we do not have to deal with them later. Claim here. Benward, yeah, let's go ahead and deal with the Benwardi separatists. Revolt. Alrighty. So that is all of the rebels dealt with for now. Alright, excellent. We have to get a castle there. Nope, still don't want him to die. Glorious return. $25. Center of Trade level 2. Do that. Then we also have to get this down to there. We want to encourage development here. Alright. For a millennium, the tower stood tall, guarded over Koinama. The people of Tiboktsamo never fell, never retreated, never faltered, never betrayed our ideals. Our long vigil has not ended, but our exile has. At least there is the rightful rulership of Koinama. The city rebuilt and restored, worthy of a Jakarti should be there be a Jakarti worthy of it. Once again, Kola's people shall be ruled from the home of Kola's shrine. After so many years, we finally returned home. The watch of the southern tower may not have ended, but as the nation grows, it becomes clear we can no longer rule from the island outpost. With the rebirth of Koinama, so too shall our nation be reborn in its old capital. No tower commander has ever been in the position I am now. Heingo Oldstone, who once spoke against my elevation to this role, has passed of old age. On his deathbed, he had spoke of being glad to have lived to see the true Kolo Vidoy. His successor was a fawning sycophant who I believe would support me even if I were proposing casting the tower itself into the sea. Naka, once a snake in the grass, would now sooner hide under a rock than challenge me. The council has become vestigial. My power is absolute. But the question remains of what I do with that power. In olden days, Tiboktsamo was ruled by the Jakarti of Koinama. I could once again restore that rulership, but the Jakarti failed, betrayed their nation, and fled. The council of the tower, decrepit as it has grown, never faltered. Perhaps it should be remade, or perhaps it should die singing my glories as Heingo did. It is time to Jakarki rule from Koinama once more. Have the council disbanded, and my blood shall reign, presumably. National tax. Centralized monarchical bureaucracy. Shrine guardians. Alright. Oh, we have to go attack Ryafo. Okay. Alright. So military access. Excellent. Okay. And now we can core up all of those provinces. Shit. Okay. Excellent. Where's my army reformer? Let's go with manpower modifier, because we are still... don't have enough of it. Alright. My natural scientist. Oh, we can get another one. Still spend our money. No, we gotta keep going. Can't die just yet. $82. We are so very close. Let's actually go with war reps and whatever money that we're willing to hand over. Can't, except I gotta go back into shit. Doing this all in a bad order. And then we do this. All right. Then we got to do this one. Sure, Mage Tower. Stop it. Alright, and now I can do punishment for the rest. Famous for our mercy and benevolence, all citizens of the nation are compelled to remember the tower is not weak. Those who reject mercy, who spit in the face of justice, are to be punished. So it was that an example needed to be made of the shrine at Nakinta. For too long, the grandfather of the pantheon and shaper of the earth has been worshipped falsely. Housed in petty islander hovels and praised by illiterate fools, his shrine in Piltra is an insult. We shall make the true house of learning for this ancient god of wisdom in a city worthy of his presence. Alright. With a quiet incantation, the Mephita ignited the flames. Blue light spills over the moon, casting ominous shadows over the chained figures hunched over pillows. The shadows belong to Iltre, or at least as many as could be captured alive. The guiding council of Ryafo, so-called philosophers and wise men, now bear witness to the true wisdom. As Kola's champion, I shall take the role of speaker on his behalf, I declared, a choking sob coming from one of the nearby Iltre. Within Nakinta's temple, we've gathered 300 prisoners of wars to witness this true discussion, as the Ryafasi call it. A self-aggrandizing ritual where they claim to speak with the gods. The first topic of discussion: who is the greatest of the gods? In turn, each of the captured Illitrate answered, Kolo, father of us all. This would be their easiest answer. And who am I who has reclaimed Kolo's temple? Hesitation was met with reprisal by nearby guards, as each Illitrate eventually answered, You are the Kolo Vidoi. And why has Kolo's wrath fallen upon the people of Ryafo, I asked. Finally, their answers diverged. Because we fled Sakinoma as cowards, because we doubted Kolo's champions, because we lost our way. Each of these answers was acceptable. We stand now in the shrine of Nakinta, the world shaper. He who has built the earth on which we stand. Do those who have angered Kolo deserve such a shrine? There were gasps before from the crowd, but perhaps there was some truth to Ryafosi belief this ritual granted heavenly wisdom. For they answered correctly, if reluctantly. Take anything that can be carried, we shall build a greater shrine. Burn the rest. Sakinoma. Trongray. Alright, and now we need a temple. Alright. And where is that? Alright. The human Kolovodoi. Warning, be on the lookout for signs of heresy. Amongst the ill-educated hut-dwelling humans of Zuvazim, a vile heresy has been formulating amongst those whose limited intellect grants them low cunning for malice, that the Kolovodoi need not be halfling, that a human could fill this role, is heresy and punishable by death. Any such spreaders of this heresy are to be reported. The Kolovodoi is halfling, and their arrival confirmed by the priest of Jiva. Do not allow these liars to poison your mind. Nope. Oh, the Kolovodoi shall finish his mission tree. Alright. Alright, there we are. And then pour that up. Right, and we literally just need him to live for like one more year. Right, that can come off. Nope, he gets to live a little bit longer than that. Yep. Alright. Death must be predetermined, so... Alright. Yep. And we shall... That... He dies... on the 6 month, then we will have to go back a bit further. Saved. Alright, we're gonna have to go back further then. Right. More reps. Cash. Okay, I guess we can go back here then. Just need him to live for 1 year. That's all I'm asking for is 1 year game. I'm gonna pause until I get some RNG that lets him live long enough. Alright, it was literally the next try. So we can do this. Ghosts busted. With the grateful ghost halflings having been peacefully integrated or otherwise re-educated, any remaining Kaino and Jerome dissidents dealt with, it's time to place our focus on Latranama. The ancient citadel shrouded in mystery and darkness is the perfect location for the clergy of Jiva. A reminder to all citizens that Oloko is not real, that spreading rumors of such a creature is a punishable offense. By order of the Tower Commander, however, this restriction is to be waived for immigrants leaving villages decimated by dissident actions. But you are reminded and encouraged to remind others that these people are merely processing the trauma of the conflict and have no true experience with supernatural entities. Alright. I felt a dull ache in my side. It hadn't left me, not since I had been betrayed. It was his fault, not mine. Public records had been edited to remove any mention of the boy. Only my own memories remain of him, laying there dead on the ground by my hand. There is no cure for the sake, but work made it easier to forget. Paperwork that I'd once sought to escape was now a refuge, and on most nights I found myself finding more comfort in work than in sleep. It was one such night as I was drafting plans for a new shrine that I heard a knock at my office door. "Come in," I said without thinking. The creature that entered looked like a halfling, but I did not recognize it as a member of my guard. It smacked its lips noisily and sucked its clean, bloodied fingers. My war gear was out of reach, but my hand instantly found a letter opener as I wordlessly stood and assumed a combat stance. "Hold, friend, you've nothing to fear from me. I've already eaten," the creature said, smacking its belly several times for emphasis. "Who are you? What do you want?" I asked, maintaining my stance. "What? Why, to thank you, of course. You've given me the greatest feast in centuries," it said, grin widening to impossible extents. "As for who I am, well, I'd tell you, but I believe you already penned a law criminalizing the use of my name." My eyes widened for a moment before narrowing. Iloko. "Funny how the one who makes the rules gets to break the rules," the creature laughed, adding, "You've got to be careful with that anti-halfling rhetoric. Though if there were anyone I'd want to associate with me, it'd be you. You haven't quite reached my body count, but you are doing quite well for a mortal. Come closer and I may add you to my count, and render you the fairy tale you ought to have been," I spat, tensing. "Oh, how rich! The Cole of Adoy speaks to me of fairy tales." The creature's laughter echoed around the room as I hurled the letter opener directly at his head. In a puff of mist it vanished, each candle illuminating my office extinguished in a moment as its laughter echoed for a few seconds. 3 guards would be reported missing following that night. I returned to my drafts more driven than ever. To acknowledge this creature would be a sign of weakness. But there were subtle ways of dealing with it. A shrine to the goddess of tricksters, one surely greater than this monster's. Let's just go with Jiva's magic will keep us safe. And here we can just do that. A prophecy fulfilled. From Latranoma to Vadranama, the lands of the coast belong to their rightful owners. There are none who dare challenge the truth of Koa's prophecy, for it has been made manifest on the world. What awaits us now is greater than prophecy, a destiny of our own manifestation. May the Kolovadoi look upon their legacy with pride and joy, knowing that they have created a greater, better world for all. Varanasi forever, Varanasi forever, Varanasi forever. Is this forever? There are times when I hate Anbennar Longwatch, the man I saw as a father, a man who to me was special. I was chosen, a man who stole my life in the name of a dream that wasn't mine. But I can't truly hate him because his life was stolen too, wasted in search of perfection that he never found. That's the part that they don't tell you about living for a cause. It eats up every other part of your body, and when that cause is gone, you realize there's nothing left. The Anoma are reclaimed and restored. The prophecy is fulfilled. My people are happy. Our harvest bountiful. Our prayers to Kolo seemingly answered. My purpose is complete, and yet I still live. I no longer know my people, and they do not know me. I don't know when it happened. Perhaps it was when the Ghost Halfling united with the Kaino and Jerome G. It was hatred of me that brought them together, a hatred I failed to see. Perhaps it was the moment I was first chosen, when my comrades became followers. I am an old man now, and yet I still look to you for wisdom. Edranari Longwatch, Tower Commander, Father. Have I done enough? Can I step aside as you did? Choose a successor as you chose me, and leave these burdens behind. I simply wish to live out the rest of my days in quiet, to be anything other than the chosen. I'm so tired. Can I rest? Alright, that is the mission tree completed. Khalifa Stone Carver. They say Koa's chosen would have the strength of an elephant. They said that they would have the courage of a lion. They said his spirit would be a roaring fire that burns away the injustices of the world and makes whole what was broken. But fires do not burn forever. On this terrible day, the spirit of the Kolovadoi has been extinguished. Now the people of Varanasi sing solemnly. They sing in the streets and from their homes. They sing praises, sing lamentations. They sing until their throats are hoarse. This shall be a day of mourning, but there is still much to do when tomorrow comes. Rest now, we shall carry on your legacy. Alright. Alright, they can go right there. And I will go ahead and go with Holo. Alright, so now we can take a real quick look. 15% core creation cost, 10% infantry combat ability. Actually quite good religious and military traditions. Along with some core creation cost and some idea cost. It's pretty solid. Alright. Probably need to develop this to get colonialism. Built a mage tower there by accident, but... Okay, that's good. Go with that instead. Do the far citadel. That, and this can get advancement effort. That can come off. Alright, and we of course get claims on all of Borshesh. Great. And repair the Anoma. Alright. Take this, and we should also probably build a few buildings. Obviously, we don't get another mission tree because they haven't put one in for Varanasi. Let's actually just see what the themes are. So, Conquest. Alright, that. And bottomless bags. What kind of modifiers do we have? That. We also should probably work on upgrading the shrines. And that needs that. 25. Let's get mothballed. We already have it all there. Go ahead and pay off the 1% loans. I'll go ahead and take that. And then we can transfer trade there as well. How many gold provinces? Just one. Yep, and then that's good, and we want to send one colonist here. Yeah, we can do Ryaz as a rival. I'll continue playing for a little bit. No harm in it. Alright, that is enough to pay that loan off. And now we can go take some of those. We also want colonial charters, missions, and your initiatives. Right, take that, and then that. Yep. Upgrade the Anomas. That, and here, Pulverins. All right. Upgrade that one. Dilapidated. Right. Excellent. It's unfortunate that these don't have halfling names. It's just the way it is, though. Alright, these guys can get drilled up. Excellent. Alright, these can also get full cord. Are we a great power? Yes. Mendes arm will have not enough. Shipwreck. Yeah, like I said, we're fine with the lizard folk. Aristocratic. Aristo Pluto for the memes. Trade power. Let's do offensive. And let's go ahead, do that. Dog cart. Great. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the prestige. And we'll begin paying off some loans. Alright. Stability of at least 2, no corruption. Okay. Let's do... Are they allied with anyone? This, and then Armel. Alright. Let me actually come here and build a spy network. A spy network here. Fortification. Fuck you guys. I have up to 10 artillery. Coincidentally, I have... enough for that. Oh, there goes the rebels. Do plant growth, advancement, study magic, do some more transmutation. Yeah, take that. Stack wipe. Hurrah! Alright, so we're gonna take this army. Make sure it has the right general on it. No more repaired. Alright, use that. Peace. Alright. Yep. Skill take one of those. Alright. Yep. Actually bring those guys right there. Right. Good. Alright, these guys need to come this way. That, alright. Go ahead and get rid of that and replace it with admin ideas, I guess. Alright. Here, here, there. Guys picked the exact wrong time to rise up. But it seems like that no longer actually destroys the fortification. Just makes it useless, which is significant improvement. And... Alright, so Aramul... Yeah, they don't want to surrender. Don't quite understand. I thought I co-belligrated them. Start. Alright, I can't go back. Eventually we'll need to go fight them for their provinces on the mainland. If I'm not going to be able to take much, I don't want to take anything. Alright, and then we want to core all of that up. Now we can declare war on these guys. They allied to anyone? No. They're a tributary of them, though, so that's unfortunate. Did they take any provinces that I want? Yes, a whole bunch, actually. Fuck. No, we're gonna reunite Horseshash. Also, now that our Merciful Father is done, we are gonna go hard. We are also on par with Kenorians now, which is mostly because we have our institution, which is excellent. Pederata, Norpaz. Oh yeah. Let's upgrade all of those. We also want to build forts on all our anomas. You know, just to be sure. Your still somehow good on admin tech. Just a little bit crazy. Right. We can go ahead and full core some of these. A little bit extra. Get a little bit extra manpower going on. By manpower, I mean force limit, of course. Alright. Behold, behold, the Vism becomes... Alright, no, I do not care. Alright, that's done with. What do we declare for? That. We'll go ahead and take that. Here's my Inquisitor. maybe a few trade ideas. So we want to transfer trade here. Right. There. Here, here, here. Terraform. I'll take the military power. That. Yeah, we need to get some barracks down. And for Seisha, we obviously want these. Alright, so North Army can deal with anything that rises up in the forest. Yep, that includes all these areas. It's a bit of a misclick right there. I want the base production. Alright. Yep. Get that done. Then next we're gonna have to go fight them, and then it's gonna be on to Ryaz. Don't need claims there. 600 men per month. Right, more manpower. Down. And get that. Stability. Flee, fine. Humans flee, good. Alright. We are gonna go ahead and build a spy network over there. Right. Yes. Alright, that is everything dealt with. House of Worship where? That makes sense. Yeah, we'll take that. And then trade efficiency. So we get up to 20,000. Four galleys. How many ships do they have? Too many. There, he majority flees. Alright. Ooh, plain touch commander. Yep, I'll take that. We can get rid of this one. Riddance. Alright, now we want... With this 27... Let's go with 8 here, 8 there. And we want... this. Alright. Yep, that. Alright. Okay, yep, good. Good riddance. Yeah. Okay, riddance. There we go. Guys can go right there. Don't care about those claims. Alright. So, standard Anoma. Approved Anoma. Yep. Need to build a fort there. I think I accidentally built one there instead. Okay. No more repaired. Yes. There's the improved one. Yes. Let's declare... we can also go ahead and build, let's just say, a few more ships. And we will declare for... Oh, I should get rid of that. Alright, declare war for... Damn ye. Here, 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 and here. Right. That. Let's have them protect trade in the Arnold Coast. Plain touch commander. Need that guy a little bit less. Yeah. Let's get that general instead. They should be moving significantly quicker. Right. Agenda of the diet. Sure, why not? And here we want... Alright. Let's build some more buildings. Alright. Okay, I'll take that, Admiral. State Magical Thesis. Alright. Let's do Rite of Conception. See what happens. Oh, we have a female ruler. That's probably not good. Uh... Alright, could have gone better. Definitely could have gone better. Alright, and we want these guys on suppressing those rebels. Don't have a truce with them anymore. Unless... yeah. Credence. Don't want military access. Of course they don't. Yep, let's just do Forgot Capital. Oh no, there goes my Commandant. I actually quite like them. Yep, take that. Those, and development. Yeah, we can develop a little bit. Send the dog riders out that way. Alright. And we can take that one off, and we can start spy network there. Okay, let me get that one. Take these. these guys right here. Okay, make sure these guys are under watch. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I'll take that. Freeze with them is almost up. Okay, yep. All good. That way. Do oops. All right. I'll transfer that trade south. Golden Age is over. Aristocratic Court. Yeah, do royal decree. Build a spy network there. For Ryaz, we can actually fairly easily overrun them. Just want to wait for all our cores to be done. It shouldn't take too long. I don't really care about colonizing this stuff. I just want to fix my borders. Ryaz, Isakumze, and then that'll be it. Right. Native Renown. Okay. Is there any more? Are we done with all the anomas? Fully maxed out, fully maxed out, fully maxed out. Yep, all 5 are done. Borzoi, Nakinta. Alright, we'll declare war on Izagunze. Go ahead and upgrade that to cracks in the tower. Give me a halfling parade advisor. Yeah, there we are. Oh, Izagoom's actually got pretty far south this game. Alright. Evidence. Alright, those forts can stay, obviously. Harvest. Great. More barracks. What GP number are we? Number 3. We're not going to be overcoming that. Right, that is done with. Majority purged, good. Alright, so we want to just take these provinces, make our borders look nice and pretty. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna come right there. We are gonna get rid of that fort. Alright. Magical trade. Yes. What can we take? I'll take that. Shadows in the Night. Shit. Every time. Go ahead and deal with these Agumze. Large cast iron cannons. Sure. Alright. Now, it's time to declare on Arias with an anti-monstrous conquest. Sure, we'll take the dwarves in. So what we want is all of these provinces. That. Yep. Do this. And that. And that. This. Alright. Go ahead and hit 10 cannons, sorry, for my, what's it called? For my second army. That is not enough to get ticking war score, crazily enough. What about steal maps of that? Alright, good. Don't really have any problem with the lizard men, but gotta have our land back. Alright. Okay, with that. That seems good. Okay, we do have ticking war score now. Okay. Sure, we can do that. Okay, good. There. Here. Okay. Okay, with that, we can go up to an empire. And that is that. We obviously have these, like, what? 6 provinces left to take, but that'd require colonization. We also have some provinces over here, but then I'd have to fight the Canorians for like 2 provinces. Oh, got the Canorians for 4 provinces, and then fight over a bunch of swamps and jungles that aren't really worth it. So yeah, I'm going to end this episode here. We basically achieved all of our natural borders for the most part. As far as Horseshesh, that would really not be much of an issue to fight for that, but I don't want to. We are an empire, which is great. We effectively are the strongest nation in Sarhal. I mean, well, apart for Ysel Mora, but if we just waited, we could easily... if we just consolidated, sorry, we'd easily be able to defeat them. So, I guess we can take a look at the culture map mode, because that is obviously the biggest thing. The Horsesheshi cultures, the Vermbindu and Irkasuba have both been destroyed, along with a lot of the eastern, what's that called? West Sarhali. Yeah. Ilkashebe would obviously be getting destroyed, although weirdly enough they actually managed to expand eastward, which is a little bit... when did they get this? Okay, so they managed to expand fairly early. And like a year after they enforced, or they managed to purge the lizard folk, they swapped, or they got conquered by Karashar. Let's just get my armies back, and then we can take a little bit of a look around the world. Move this way. Yep. Deal with those rebels. And these guys can move up north. Let's go ahead and get some more cores done. Shebe converted over to... That's very funny. Oh, we're gonna have to move over there. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm about to end it. Alright, so let us go into observer mode and see what is happening. I got rid of some areas. Oh yeah, and Yasa's in, sort of. They still need to get a lot of flags, but they have some very cool religious icons. This is the Kobold one. So we can tag in and get a slightly better view of it. Yep, very cool. And then these guys have this. And yep. Finally, they have the sort of lava-looking one. Very sexy. I don't think any of the others have any sort of unique icons yet. There's a handful of flags that look pretty solid. Yeah, there's that one, and then... Is there any more flags anywhere? Yep, one over here. Very Maori, however, the New Zealander, Polynesian inspired for a lot of them, and then, yeah. There is another one over here. A lot of ogres, too, by the way. This is the Skyfall ogres slash Seacrest. I think both of these are sort of the same genus of ogres, as in it's like Fathide versus Bloodtooth, or Fathide versus Mossmouth, or Soulseeker, where they originate from a different... They had different giant creators. So, being the Cloud Giants, which, weirdly enough, actually still exist in lore. They're just kind of around, flying around their cities. I think you get an event if you play as Vazatun. You'll probably get some content interacting with them over here. Yeah. Looks like we have a fairly successful Orcish-Skan. Khazrugan, Venomtooth, Incudivalor, Bladebreakers, and Barumond all exist. Grombar is large. Bloodfiel is actually huge. And we have the Reach. Who formed the Reach? Selimdor. It's definitely Selimdor managed to form the Reach. Yeah, they had pretty decent ideas, mostly economic. And, naval, I guess. Other than that, huge Ibavar. Love to see it. Actually managed to culture convert some provinces over here. I assume they just purged orcs. Yes. And then they also managed to get the Wood Elves. And they stayed Regent Court. Somewhat unusual. Elsewhere, Catarata is kind of weak. We've eclipsed them. Yzalmora is fairly large. Resin is doing quite well. They've managed to grab quite a lot. Amion has managed to convert a whole bunch, which is very cool. Looks like Laurent managed to get a lot of Trolls Bay. Elsewhere, we have... Actually, no one has really managed to win the wars over here, which is fascinating. Laurent is also doing good in Harath. Osgaram is getting dunked on by Pearl's Edge. And elsewhere... what the hell happened here? Okay, so Zaka won. But I guess Rump State? Shidari? 73. I guess Rump State Shidari managed to, like... Because they get a little Rump State over here. But I think... Yeah, that's weird. They managed to come back somehow. Three-way it's split between Irulan, Biz, and Sariand is not super weird. They managed to kill the Vamrahar. Yeah, that's pretty normal. Fenrir Harpies. Anything interesting culturally? Nope. Oh, I guess the Exodus goblins got purged. And over in Holus, the command is doing their thing. Haven't quite managed to get their conversion edict out yet, but they have gotten all of their, what's it called? Their Hobgoblin commands out. They actually have all the commands. They do. Elsewhere, Bifon Jin, standard. Stuff over here. Pretty normal. I don't think there's anything too weird happening. Oh, okay, yeah, that's actually a little bit weird. Eltican is still around. Somehow. And they've managed to even convert some people. That's pretty fun. Let's play. Or nation to play. Vanbury Guild and the Empire. Lex is still the Emperor. And nothing interesting has happened. Yeah. It's the only sort of unusual thing in Canor is Laurent taking pretty much the entire Dragon's Coast. And the Reach forming, and Lauren March and Grombar still existing at the same time. It's fairly strange, but otherwise it's nothing. Big Ben, and that's not weird. Alright, I think that will be it. We can go ahead and just look at the ledger. And see who has the most money. We have the most income. Let me just double check that. Rent. Okay, let me pick someone who has a lot of sight everywhere. Yeah, Viranosi, I think, still has the most money, unless the command... Yeah, the command and Buvari, I think, have a little bit more, but that's fine. Okay, score comparison. Actually, number 5, which is pretty solid. Religions. Managed to spread the faith through genocide. Pretty well-developed provinces, actually. Our anomas are. Advisors, military leaders. We actually had really good military leaders. Yeah. Obviously, we had, what's his name? Adriana Longwatch, and then we had the, what's his name? Kolavani. Discipline-wise, we have 110, which is pretty good. Highest huge force limit. 500,000 men lost. Yep. Pretty good. And most of our nation is halfling and correct faith. No real dominant trade good. All right. I think that's about it. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and have a good day.